Are you currently in your third trimester and you have no idea where to start with baby prep? Let's dive into my ultimate checklist and let's tackle this together. With less than 12 weeks to my due date, it's really starting to get real, y'all. I just feel like there's so much to get ready for. And although I'm filled with so much excitement to finally meet my new baby, I kind of feel a little overwhelmed because there's just so many things that I have to get done. And I feel like I've barely started. So I decided to create a checklist so that I can keep track of all the things that I need to get done. And I'm going to share it with you so that you can get yourself organized too while you count down to meeting your new baby. Let's get into it. Side note, I'm really loving this little mic. I feel official, y'all. Like, hey. But anyway, this checklist is basically a list of all the things that I need to get done before I have my baby. And having it all written down and categorized is going to really help me stay organized with all the baby prep before my due date, especially during the holidays because we have Thanksgiving coming up and Christmas and the New Year. So this is going to help to keep me on track and in order with all things baby. I'm going to move the mic down a little bit, and you know what? I might actually try to clip it to my shirt so that I don't even have to hold it. All right, so I, of course, wrote down everything for my checklist because mom brain, and also just because I need to have a visualization. I actually wrote it down in my iPad journal app where it like use my Apple Pen, but I'm going to eventually transfer all of this information into Notion where I have actual checklists that I can actually check it off and keep everything super categorized by the category. But for now, I just wrote it down so that we can talk about it on the video. So I'm going to just jump right into it. I broke down my checklist into 4 categories: home prep, baby prep, self prep slash family prep, and birth prep. And in this video, we are going to start with the home prep checklist. So as you're probably thinking, home prep has to do with everything that I need to get ready for in my home. Right now, the main things that I'm focused on is getting the baby's room completed and the girls' room completed. Our house has 3 bedrooms, and currently our 3rd bedroom was the playroom, and I am transitioning the playroom into the girls' new room, and the girls' old room is going to be the nursery. So I actually already kind of started this, but I'm definitely not done yet. But my plan is to get the furniture built. They're going to have a bunk bed, get their dresser and everything into their room, everything decorated, their clothes organized in the closet. And then once they're out of their old room, I'll be able to start the nursery prep. So what does that include? It includes painting the room. It includes getting furniture. It includes getting storage bins and the things that I'm going to use to organize the closet. I plan to get drawer dividers and closet dividers to kind of help keep order of the clothes based off of the size. I didn't really do that before. I would just kind of just say the top drawer is for 0 to 6 months. The second drawer is for 3 to 6 months. But I think having like actual storage containers and drawer organizers and little dividers for the closet will really help to keep everything organized and nice and neat, especially with the older girls. Nyla has a lot of clothes, my oldest daughter. She has a lot of clothes that she's outgrown that is still too big for Nia to wear, but I don't want to get rid of because they're in great quality. So having those type of organizers based off of size will be great for me to organize the clothes that don't quite fit her, but Nia can't quite wear, that I'm going to end up passing down to her. This also includes doing laundry of all the baby's clothes, all the new stuff that we get, washing bottles. A lot of the things, we don't have really anything yet for the baby because we're having our baby shower in December. But once all of those things come, these are things that I'm going to have to mark off my checklist. So the nursery and the girls' room are a part of the home prep. Additionally, I want to stock the fridge and the pantry before delivery. This is something that I probably won't do until closer to my due date. I'm due in the beginning of February, so probably in January, I may want to just do like a Costco run and just stock up on things that I know that we're going to need, because during those first few weeks after having the baby, I know I'm not going to want to be in anybody's grocery store. Another thing that I'm thinking about trying this time around is meal prepping or frozen meals. I've never done this before with my preparation for baby, but I have seen a lot of moms do this and they say that it's very helpful for them on their postpartum journey. I'm not really a frozen meal type of girl, but what I am thinking of doing is just like buying my meat, cleaning and seasoning it, and then freezing it. So then that way, when I do want to cook meals, I already have it cleaned and seasoned and I can just take it out, thaw it out, and cook it. So I am considering prepping my meats like that. I'm also considering when I do, stock up my pantry and get groceries and stuff like that right before my due date. It's just kind of just like pre-packaging everything. So having all the fruit already washed, having everything already packaged into either Ziploc bags or Tupperware plates to make it super easy on me. In the past, I really enjoyed my postpartum experience and I didn't really mind cooking and stuff like that because I had so much extra free time, it felt like, with not having to like work my 9 to 5. So I don't really anticipate me not wanting to do that. But in the event that I don't want to, it will be nice to kind of have some things already prepped in advance. So I am going to try that. And if I do it, I will record that process with you guys as well so I can show you guys what I prep and how I'm going to store it. Next, I'm going to want to prepare my postpartum kit. This includes like all of the pads that I'm going to need, any type of padsicles or my vaginal spray. I forgot what it's called, but you like use the warm water, like the spritz bath, the sitz bath. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But just making sure I have everything that I need to handle my postpartum care, including breast milk pads. And then also I want to have a bedside caddy right by my bed because I am going to be breastfeeding. So just making sure I have some snacks. I have my breast pump. I have breastfeeding bags, diapers, wipes, everything that I need for both baby and me to get us through the night and through the day. I want to definitely get that organized as well. I also want to clean and declutter the house. I don't want to bring a new baby into a super cluttered or messy home. So my plan during the holidays is just to kind of, once I finish the girls' room and the nursery, is to try to just go through my own clothes, my own room, the living room area, and just really just declutter and clean so that we have a nice clean home for the baby to come home to. Another thing that I'm going to do is set up my breast pump. So I actually recently ordered my breast pump. I think I ordered it 2 days ago. So if you have health insurance, typically your insurance will cover a breast pump. I do still have my pump from my last pregnancy, which was the Spectra S2. Amazing pump, love the pump, and I kept it. But I do also want to try a hands-free pump. So I got the Mom Cozy S12 Pro. I watched a lot of videos about it, and because I typically am an oversupplier, I liked how much milk that this pump can hold. In addition, it has a very strong pump. So I ordered it already. It should be coming, I think, by the end of this month or in December. So just making sure that I open the pump, I know how to use it. I'm able to measure my flange size. All the parts are washed and good and ready to go for when baby gets here. Usually my milk comes in super fast and I get huge, engorged, painful breasts by like day 3. So having all of that ready when baby comes home is going to be very important. Last time I made that mistake and I did not have my pump ready. And when I got home, I was in so much pain and as I was trying to clean all my pump parts. And I'm making sure that that does not happen to me again. All right, so that's basically everything I'm going to be doing for home prep. It's really just surrounding just organizing, getting things in order, getting the girls' room completed, getting the baby's room completed. A lot of the stuff that I can't really do for the baby's room until we have our baby shower in December. But hopefully before the end of the month, we will have the girls' room completed. And I will definitely give you guys some behind the scenes on that and show you guys a little more on that. I can't really go into too much detail on everything on the checklist because it's going to make the video super long. But I do plan to create little mini videos showing you guys parts of the checklist and me completing the checklist, such as like packing my diaper bag or just other things like that, so that I can provide more details, more insight, more advice, and also show you guys if you're not really sure if this is your first baby, because this is my 3rd baby. I do have some experience, so I know what worked for me, what didn't work for me, what I want to continue to do, and what I want to do differently this time around. Also, sorry, my dog is snoring over there. I have a pit bull and they love to snore. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it or not. Hopefully it's not too distracting, but just wanted to kind of point that out really quickly. So moving along to birth prep. Birth prep is everything that I'm going to do to help me prepare for my labor and my delivery. And Even though this is my third time around, it's still a super anxious and exciting and nerve-wracking moment. And it's easy to get overwhelmed with all the things that could happen during birth. So being prepared is really important to me when it comes to my birth. One of the first things on my checklist for birth prep is packing my hospital bag, packing my bag, as well as packing baby's bag. And I'm gonna post a video in more detail of what I actually pack into my hospital bag, but this is definitely on the checklist. Another thing that I have on my checklist is the Count the Kicks app, and I actually already have it downloaded. Now that I'm in my third trimester, I am being intentional with counting my baby's kicks. My doctor recommended that I start this in the third trimester, and basically it's an app in the App Store, and I will share with you guys a picture of the app as well as a little snippet of like what the app actually looks like, and I'll share here. But basically, it's to kind of get a baseline of how active and frequent your baby is moving. The goal is that your baby should be moving at least 10 times in an hour. By counting my baby's kicks and determining this baseline, I can say to my doctor, hey, typically my baby normally moves this much, and I noticed that they haven't really moved that much today. Normally my baby does 10 kicks in an hour or 15 kicks in an hour, or normally their baseline is 7 kicks in an hour. And I've noticed that the past few hours, they've only been moving 3 to 5 kicks. You can bring your concerns to your doctor and let them know that this was the baseline, this is what my baby is doing, and they can assess and evaluate your baby based off of this information. So this is something that I didn't really do with my first two, but I'm definitely doing now. I actually already downloaded the app and I've already started. So another thing that I want to make sure I have ready is my contraction app. So this isn't going to be needed until right until the end when I'm about to give birth, but making sure that I have this app on my phone and ready is going to be important. With my last daughter, from the time I woke up at 7 a.m. and had my first contraction, I had her literally less than 8 hours later. And I honestly just did not even realize that I was in active labor. I almost had her in the car. It was a crazy experience. So making sure that I'm tracking my contractions is important. So I'm going to make sure that I have the app downloaded, and I will also share a picture of the app that I used and will be using again with you guys right here. Another thing that I have on my checklist is making sure that I'm attending all of my doula appointments. I do have a doula, so making sure that we are meeting, that we're preparing my mind, my body, my spirit for my labor. My insurance also offers some birthing classes, and even though it's my third baby, I did sign up for certain classes, especially the breastfeeding / breast pumping class, because my goal this time around is to store more of my milk. Even though I was an overproducer with my first two babies, I didn't really want to pump as much. I would kind of just try to decrease my supply, but this time around, I kind of want to pump as much as I can and store a huge supply. That way, if I do want to stop before my baby's a year and I have a huge stash of milk in the freezer, it'd be fine, because I know that if I do stop, my stash will be able to cover my baby for the next few months. So I did sign up for some birthing classes, so making sure that I'm completing those is also on my checklist. A part of my birth prep, I also want to make sure I'm starting to stretch. I want to make sure I'm using my yoga ball. I'm doing breathing exercises. All of these things are going to be so important when I'm in labor, when I start having contractions. So making sure that I'm getting into the habit of it now, working on my breathing so that when I am in that excruciating pain, I can remember to breathe. I can remember to sit on my yoga ball. I can remember to stretch and work through the contractions. So that is something that I'm going to be very intentional about now that I'm in my third trimester, so it's on the checklist. I also want to review my birth plan. I created my birth plan already. I believe it was in my second trimester, but I haven't looked at it since. So just making sure that I'm reviewing my birth plan. I know what I want. My husband knows what I want. My doctor knows what I want, so that we're all on the same page when we go into the hospital. I'm also looking into baby CPR for my husband. I am a nurse, so I already am CPR certified, but he is not. So that is something that I also have on my checklist. If you're not CPR certified or your spouse is not, I highly recommend getting CPR certified, because it'll help you feel more confident and safe. If your baby were to choke or if your baby were to stop breathing, you will feel like you know what to do while you wait for emergency help to come. I also need to complete the maternity leave process at work. And if you have maternity benefits at your job, you're going to want to also connect with your HR department to make sure that you have everything that you need to go on maternity leave. There may be documents that your doctor has to sign or documents that your job has to sign. So really talk to your job get this process completed so that when it's time to go out, you're good to go. So this is a process that I actually initiated last week, and I do have to meet with my HR department soon so that we can get all the paperwork and I can go to my doctor and we can get the process going with that. If you have other kids or if you have pets, you want to make sure that you're planning for who's going to be watching them while you and your spouse are in the hospital. My mom is the one that typically watches the girls, so basically just letting her know that she's going to be the one picking them up from school if we're in the hospital, or taking them to school, looking after our dog, because we won't be able to do it during that time. So just make sure you have that plan in place. Who is going to be watching your other children or your pets while you are in the hospital giving birth to your baby? The last thing on my birth prep list is to add the baby to the wait list at my daughter's preschool. So they have a super long wait list. It's usually like a year-long wait list. So one of the things that I need to make sure that I do at the top of the year is to add the baby to the wait list. I don't plan to put the baby into daycare until they are about 1 to 1.5 years old. But because it has such a long wait list, I need to make sure that I add baby to the wait list in January. So I have this on my checklist so I do not forget. So if you're gonna have to put your baby in childcare, or you're looking for a nanny or someone to watch your baby, it is gonna be great for you to try to solidify that now that you're in your 3rd trimester. You don't wanna be stressed and overwhelmed once your baby gets here. So you should really be looking into different preschools or daycare centers, different nannies or babysitters, or what family member can help you out. Because once you're off maternity leave and you have to go back to work, you don't wanna wait until that point, because that'll add so much extra stress and pressure to you. All right, y'all, so we're moving along. We're finally to our 3rd category, which is baby prep. And it feels like there's just so much to do, because there is. But having everything organized and listed will help give you a visualization of what it is that you have to get done. And being able to check things off is going to feel so good, and it's going to make you feel like you're accomplishing things. So trust me, even though it may seem overwhelming now, it's going to feel so good once you start checking things off of your list. So now on to baby prep. First thing on my list is I need to finalize my newborn photos. I love pictures. I love capturing memories. So newborn photos is very big and important to me. If you want to have newborn photos, I recommend starting to look to see who your newborn photographer can be. Whew, excuse me, out of breath. A lot of times, newborn photographers, the really good ones, will book up months and months in advance. I actually booked my newborn photo shoot since I think October or September. So I already booked my shoot and I already put my deposit down the first half. I just have to pay the final deposit, and I also have to figure out what signature sets I'm going to do, which basically means what designs am I going to do for my baby shoot. With my oldest daughter, I did Little Mermaid or the Mermaid, and I also chose like different cute styles. With the baby, I also did a mermaid. I think I did a princess and a carriage. So they have like different signature sets, and I get to choose 2 with the package that I chose. So just solidifying what it is that I'm going to do for the newborn photos, as well as making sure I pay the deposit, that is on my list. So start looking for photographers if that's what you want to do. If you want to take your own pictures, start looking into the supplies that you're going to need, and have that solidified before baby gets here. Next on the list for baby prep is having my baby shower. My baby shower is planned for December. So this honestly is cutting it super close, because I have to wait to see what I'm going to get from my friends and family, and then get the things that we're missing to make sure that we have everything that we need for when baby gets here. But I'm just so thankful because my mom is throwing me and my husband a baby shower. So I'm super excited for that. I don't know much details about it because it's like a semi-surprise, but once we have our baby shower and we go through all the things that we get, making sure that we get all the things that we're missing is on my checklist. Next is installing the car seat, and you guys, this is honestly one of my favorite parts about preparing for baby. I love installing the car seat into the car, and even though I'm not the one that installs it, my husband is, but once the car seat's in my car, I'm literally just like smiling at the fact that, oh my goodness, my baby is going to be sitting in this car seat soon. So if you have not had a baby yet and this is your first baby, let me know how you feel or how you felt when you first installed the car seat into your car. And if you've already had babies, let me know if you've had the same type of feeling like I did, because every time it's time to install the car seat, I just feel all the feels, and I'm just so excited. So this is definitely on the checklist. You want to make sure that you have the car seat installed, because you cannot take your baby home from the hospital without a car seat in your car. Next, we need to build the crib. I'm thinking about getting a Nestig convertible crib. Typically, we have baby in the room with us for the first 3 months and I have a bassinet by the bedside. I bought one for my second daughter, and I gave it away after 3 months, and it just seemed like a waste of money. So this time around, seeing this crib, the fact that it starts as like a bassinet and then it can convert into a full-size crib and then into a toddler crib just seems very smart, even though it's a little bit pricey. Long term, I just feel like it's a better investment. So that's the crib that I want to get. So once it gets here, making sure that husband installs that and puts it at the bedside so that we're ready for baby. Y'all, we also need to finalize and choose baby's name. This had to be added to the list. We have not decided on baby's name yet. I'm really not sure 100%. Like right now, I'm like 95% sure on the name, but I don't know if it's going to be the name or not. I told myself we have to decide by this month. So if you have not decided on your baby's name yet, you're not alone, but we got to get it done this trimester, okay? We got to get it done before we go into the hospital. Unless you're waiting to see your baby to choose the name, that's okay too. I know a lot of people like to wait and see what the baby looks like and then pick their name from there. I usually already have the name decided before we get to the hospital. So that is something that I had to put on our checklist. And then lastly, just making sure that I'm attending my final doctor's appointments and my final ultrasounds. I have an appointment next week, and then I believe my appointments are going to move to every 2 weeks. And then my next ultrasound appointment will be in December at my 34-week mark. So it's getting real, y'all. The fact that I scheduled my next ultrasound for December and I'll be 34 weeks is insane. Like, it's getting real, and that is why we have to start tackling this list. Okay, so we're finally at the last category. We made it, guys. We're almost there. You see, the list wasn't that bad. It was not that bad. All right, so my final category is self and family prep, and I included family prep because, you know, making sure that the children are ready for baby, my husband is ready for baby, as well as me is very important to me. First on the list, we need to do our maternity photos, AKA our family photos. Usually for my maternity photo shoots, I like to include the entire family. We do some shots with just me and hubby, but I also like to include my children as well and make it a nice family moment. So making sure that I know what we're gonna wear. I still don't know what we're gonna wear. I kind of have an idea. I think I know what color we're going to do, but I have no outfits yet. So this month I need to start getting all of our outfits together, figure out my hair, figure out makeup, figure out how I'm gonna do the girls' hair, and just really get that solidified because our appointment for our maternity shoot, I think, is December 15th. So it's right around the corner. The holidays are coming up and I don't want to be overwhelmed. So making sure that I can get all that done this month is very important, and that's why it's on the checklist. So if you have not taken your maternity photos yet, you're gonna definitely want to do it soon because your baby can come at any moment. Obviously, we're hoping to closer to the due date, but you don't want to go into labor before you had a chance to capture this beautiful moment if you are planning to do it. So that's why I tried to have mine early December instead of late December, because I'm due the first week of February and I was not trying to do it in January and run the risk of going into labor early and missing my photos. So I also have on here self-care, and this is stuff that I'm going to do as we get closer to having the baby, such as a maternity massage. I really want to get a full body massage before I have the baby, get my nails done, my toes done, get my hair done, get a full wax. If you know, you know. But yeah, those are some of the things that I really want to do before I have the baby so that when I go into labor, I feel beautiful, I feel confident, and I know that for the first few weeks after having baby, I won't be able to really leave the house. So just getting like my hair, my nails, my massage before I have the baby will just get me into the right mindset for labor and delivery, and it'll also hold me over until I'm able to finally do those things postpartum. I also have on here our baby moon. So me and hubby really want to do a baby moon. And we want to go away, just us two, before we have the baby. Not really sure where we're going to go, whether it be out of the country or staying in the country, doing a staycation, whatever it is. But we really want to take at least a weekend of time just for us to bond and connect before baby gets here. So I have that on here because, one, we need to plan it, figure it out. I already took off the time from work. We already know what weekend we're going to do it. We just have not solidified it. So that is on the checklist as well. Also have on here family bonding. So I really want to make sure that we're bonding as a family of 4 before we become a family of 5. So just spending time with my girls, spending time with my husband, having date nights and family nights, movie nights, and just really just bonding and cherishing each other Before a newborn comes into the home and shakes things up, I feel like this part is not going to be super hard because my third trimester is during the holidays, which is all about family bonding. So Thanksgiving and Christmas, we're going to have so much time to spend together, but I just want to make sure that I'm being super intentional with making sure that my family feels loved, they feel special, they feel appreciated, because I know once the newborn comes, all the attention is going to be on the baby for a while, and I don't want my family to feel neglected. I also included on here making sure I'm stretching. I know I mentioned this before, but stretching, prenatal yoga, all of these things are going to help prepare me for labor. So I want to make sure that I'm really doing these things. I also added acupuncture and chiropractic appointments. The third trimester is rough on your body, girl. It can be rough. I mean, it was rough on my body the whole entire pregnancy with the sciatica pain and the back pain and the pelvic pressure. But the third trimester, that thing just hit different. So making sure that I'm going to my acupuncture appointments and my chiropractic appointments to really help prepare me for labor. A lot of times the chiropractor can also help prepare your body for labor by adjusting your bones in your pelvic area to make it better and easier for the baby to come out. And then acupuncture is also really good with helping to induce labor naturally and manage pain. So making sure that I'm going to both of those appointments regularly during my third trimester is a priority. So if it's something that you're interested in, making sure that you have that on your checklist is going to be important. I also included on here meditation. Meditation is kind of going to go along with like the yoga and stretching, but just getting my mind right. Labor is hard. Labor is hard. Having a baby is hard. Whether you do it vaginally, whether you have a C-section, it is hard. So meditating and getting your mind right, getting your mind-body connection right, working on your breathing, working on your stretching, all those things are just going to help make it a little bit easier. All right, y'all. So that's all for the checklist. Wasn't so bad, right? I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot, but we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done together. Let me know if there was anything on this list that I did not include that you have on your list, because I might have missed something, girl, and I can add it to my checklist. So comment in the comments if you have anything on your list that I did not mention, so that I can see if I want to add it to my list. Let me know if there was anything on my list that you didn't think of that you're going to now add to your list. And let's work on this third trimester checklist together. And also share any tips or experiences that you have had during your third trimester, anything that will help the other moms or moms-to-bees in the comments. Share what worked for you, share what didn't work for you, share things that are going to help us to get through our third trimester, to deliver healthy babies, to have a great experience, the best experience that we can have for ourselves. And let's talk in the comments. Let me know if you guys thought this was helpful. And once I create my actual checklist, maybe I'll share it with you guys. I plan to put all of this stuff into a Notion document so it's more organized, where I have the 4 categories. I have all the different things checked off with like boxes that you can actually check through. So once I create that, I might just share with y'all. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all, do you guys want the list? Do y'all want the checklist for real? Let me know. All right, girl. I hope you loved and enjoyed this video. Until next time, most likely the next video is going to be an update on the girls' room. Hopefully we can get a lot done this weekend, and if so, I will share this with you guys and it'll be right here, ready for you to watch next. If not, stay tuned because that's what's coming. And please like, comment, and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye!